Oh man, I hope you guys are buckled up because now we're getting into the real nitty gritty of the show on how you're going to be left behind. How you will never see a sitting president in your lifetime. I really do mean that, by the way. The fact that they're allowing illegal aliens to vote in this election, you will never, and then give them citizenship, by the way. So they get to sit here and cut the line, and then we reward them with it, with all these services as well. We are rewarding people for criminal behavior. Check this out. Musk, Democrats trying to make U.S. permanent one-party rule through mass illegal immigration. I tell you, if you watch this show, you guys, sometimes you're like 6 months to a year ahead of it. We've been talking about this 3 years ago on the main agenda. What's the big plan here of the Democrat Party and why they would sit there and allow millions of people to pour across the border? And we said early on, for those that have been watching us for years, we said their goal is to make sure that you give them citizenship. I'll even tell you exactly what I said early on. I said that I think what they're going to do is allow millions of people to pour across the border. Trump gets elected. He's going to, or somebody's going to negotiate a amnesty. As long as we build a border wall and we have the entire border secure, we'll give these people amnesty. You can't do that. It sounds good because we really want a border wall, but you can't do that. You will never have another Republican president. These people vote 90% or higher. Their first time voting is Democrat. So Elon Musk warned on Thursday that Democrats are intentionally allowing mass illegal immigration into the U.S. as part of a plot to overthrow the will of the voters and create a permanent one-party state. I'll tell you what, Democrats would be up in arms if all these people were going to vote Republican, but they don't. Musk made the remarks in an X post in response to the chart that showed the surge in illegal immigrants that has been relocated by the Biden administration into key swing states since 2021. Here's what's said. The Dems are doing deliberate voter importation to swing states and fast-tracking them to citizenship. That comes from George Soros that we covered about 2 weeks ago in funding these people's track to make them permanent citizens in specifically these swing states. He's throwing a mass amount of money here at specifically the swing states. Democrats are like, well, what's wrong with that? He's just helping them become citizens. Yeah, but he's helping them do it in very strategic areas, in strategic ways. When these people came illegally in the first place, why not help those that have been waiting in line for years? Why not help those? You just want to do it out of the goodness of your heart. Why not help those that are actually trying to be here and following the process correctly and sitting there and funding that? But no, he's funding those that are here illegally, those that should have never been here in the first place, because he knows that's going to turn into Democrat votes. It's very crafty. It's very wise. It's very slimy. It's very disgusting. It's very swampy. The only question is when, not if, enough Democrats can vote to flip all swing states, shifting the whole country to permanent one-party rule, just like what happened to California after the 1986 amnesty. That's why I keep saying it. Unless Trump wins and reverses this scam, 2024 is the last election in American history. The Democrat machine voting importation scam is the true threat to democracy, not Trump. Well said, Elon. Well said. And it's not just that. We got illegal immigrant population more than quintupled in swing states since the last election. We bring the receipts here, do we not, folks? Do we not sit here and bring you the receipts? It sits there and flows nicely to support what is going on. And somehow, there's a lot of Americans out there that are blind to this agenda, to this deep state, quasi-Democrat party, quasi-criminal freaking government that we have that's allowing this to happen. You have a right to vote. Yeah, I also have the right to make sure that my vote's not freaking sitting there being canceled by some dude or gal that's not supposed to be here in the first place. Remember, California, it's illegal now to ask for ID. You cannot do it. Now, does it matter all that much? Not really, because the state is so far left, it's head spinning. But it does, technically, yes, it does matter. It does matter. I don't want my vote to not count because it got offset by some dude that's not supposed to be here. And it's not just that. It's all, folks, it's not just that. We know that they're registering in California, Arizona, Texas, Pennsylvania, Michigan, the swing states. We know that they're doing it. We've seen the articles. We've seen the posts. We've seen the documents. That's why the GOP is suing Nevada. That's why the GOP is suing Pennsylvania and Michigan, these swing states, because they're not willing to clean up their voter registration rules. As we mentioned, everything that happened in 2020 is going to happen again. This is their agenda, and you're going to be left behind. Democrats, you are going to be left behind. This isn't about just Republicans. This is about Americans. That's why it says Americans in the title, the thumbnail. You are an American. I understand that we have disagreements. What are you going to do if one day these people, for some ungodly reason, maybe the hand of God will sit there and initiate this, turns Republican? Then you're going to be pissed. Oh, well, look, we should have never done it in the first place. Well, the illegal immigrant population has more than quintupled in key swing states since 2021. This is because Joe Biden was breaking record after record after record after record. I mean, they had to probably sit there and carve out an entire room in the White House to sit there and hold all his medals that he freaking shattered in terms of illegal immigration. Feeling concerns that mass migration could impact the outcome of the November elections. Nobody's going to look under it. Nobody's going to audit this. Nobody's going to look at that name that's registered going, hey, when did they enter this country? Are they a citizen? Are we going to actually look them up? Because they didn't do auditing last one. If you're curious on what an audit is, you guys, audit is different than a recount. An audit is where you're performing basically sampling testing to see how many errors were involved in said election or said auditing or company, whatever you're looking at, and then seeing if it actually has a material effect on the outcome of whatever's being produced. What they did in 2020, all they did was a recount. So say if those signatures were fraudulent, or that person voted from a property that didn't exist, or that person voted from a property that they're not even actually a resident in anymore, or they moved to a different state and now they're voting in a different state to sit there and swing that election, but they're living in a different state. None of that was audited. Nobody looked at it and see, is this legit? All they did was go, yeah, this person voted for Joe, this person voted for Trump, and they just recounted the errors. It's not auditing. It's not seeing if it had a material effect. And that's why it's tough to say if we did win or if we did lose the election, because nobody wanted to look under the hood. And Democrats are using that as a club against all of us because we're not willing to go, well, yeah, you guys won, because we actually don't know. Nobody knows. We tried to look under the hood. It was January 6th, which I said, if you're a conspiracy theorist, there's one for you. The fact that Ted Cruz was on the floor of the Senate with the votes, by the way, sitting there going to pass through an initiative that would make us look and audit and look into the 2020 election right when it happened to see if there was any fraudulent activity taking place, to see if things would have actually swung the election. And then, well, you know what unraveled on January 6th. There we go. All right, sorry, I thought my camera went out. Whew, that was scary. We're sitting there glitching. We're like Joe Biden. Ice cream. MarketWatch detailed the estimated increase in illegal immigration population in the 7 battleground states that will help decide the outcome of the presidential election between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. The drastic surge in illegal immigrant populations of key battleground states has added to concerns that the Democrat Party is using mass migration to achieve political power. Look at these numbers. Michigan carries 15 electoral college votes, saw a 775% increase. One moment, please. Oh, boy. President Joe Biden beat Trump in the Midwest state in 2020 by roughly 150,000 votes. Trump won in 2016 just with over 11,000 votes. Arizona saw a 734% increase in illegal immigrants residing in the state. Yo, look at these, 446%. Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, 241%. That's where one of the lawsuits is taking place. It's bad. It is bad. There you go. George Soros working with the sway to outcome the national and state elections. It gets worse. No, it gets worse. Oh, you're like, Brad, how could this get worse? No, it does. Folks. Folks, it gets way worse. It gets really bad. Really, really bad. Check this out. DHS lets illegals enter U.S. without ID, harming national security. Inspector General says, oh, and then people are shocked. What do you mean there might be a terrorist attack today? What do you mean the FBI and DHS are coming out with the bells, the alarms, the signals, the fucking be careful? The Department of Homeland Security is letting illegal immigrants who don't present identification enter the United States and roam freely. A move the department's inspector general says puts the country at risk. They don't care. They don't care. They're not going to do anything about it. Under current processes, CBP and ICE cannot ensure that they are keeping high-risk non-citizens without identification from entering the country. Democrats, you're going to be left behind just like the rest of us. You are going to be harmed just like the rest of us. So when there's a terrorist attack and say Donald Trump gets elected, I'm going to sit there and blame your asses for all of this because you didn't want to sit there and lock up the border because, oh, well, we need to bring everybody in. We need to sit there and open borders. Additionally, TSA cannot ensure its vetting and screening procedures prevent high-risk non-citizens who may pose a threat to the flying public from boarding domestic flights. Take a deep breath, Patriots. Patriots, breathe. Breathe. DHS does not log, of course, they don't want the evidence, right? Does not log whether it has seen identification from aliens or merely accepted the name they verbally present. I made this a joke. If you all remember, I was joking when I said, hey, what's your name? Who you voting for? You're voting for Joe? Come on in. Oh, yeah, come on in. Hey, if you go to Chicago, you got $84,000. You're going to get full rental assistance, lawyer fees, education. Yeah, I see you got like 20 kids with you. I know they're all yours. Come on in. We were joking. I was being satirical. Now the satirical is reality. Men can become women. Women can become men. Pigs can fly. All this stuff is crazy. So it's unclear exactly how many aliens are admitted to the country with unconfirmed identities. Well, we know there's over 13,000 people that are murderers. That's always fun. Oh, goody. We know there's thousands of terrorists in this country. Oh, goody. Democrats will fix it, though, you guys. You just have to put... Remember, they just need... No. Stop, guys. I see you in the chat. No. Stop. Come on. We were told Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they just need 4 more years to fix this, you guys. 4 more years. To fix something we were told for years was never broken. We were just told the immigration system was broken, right? Oh, the paperwork, there's a backlog. No, it's okay. Yeah, they're going to fix it, you guys. In Kamala, we trust, I guess. Yeah, in Kamala, we trust.